at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. FastPay. FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
99.9 WEFM.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so the time right now, SPG, it is 9:33, and we are in our Talk to Us segment for today. Remember, this is the segment of the program when you get even more interactive with us. You can call us at 457-9997. That's a direct number. That's also a WhatsApp number. Or you can pose a question to us by typing same number through WhatsApp, or sending us a message through Facebook and YouTube, as we are currently live there. All right. So it can either be a question, a brand new question to us, or something in relation to what we discussed earlier this morning that you want to maybe share your thoughts on, or pose a question to us in relation to same. All right. So again, the number to call is 457-9997. And we are going to give you about 10 seconds to call. And if you don't, we are going to go into our prepared topic. All right. So starting as of now, countdown is on. All right, that was a little extra time because we were enjoying the instrumental. All right.
I was about to say thanks for the extra.
Don't think that we did it for well, we kind of did it on purpose, but we're enjoying the instrumental. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's go. All right. Yeah, I think I know what it is. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
So wait, before you even start, how was either Trinidad, Brazil, or Dominica?
Trinidad.
All right, you see? When you go missing, boy. When you go missing.
You're reading me.
It wasn't hard to figure out, Queens. How are you and how was it?
All right, man. I'm back in town though. 2 weeks. Yeah. That's my second home right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you studied over there in St. Augustine, right?
I did, yes. Mm-hmm.
You did. Are you able to say what period of time it was?
2005 to 2008.
Okay, and I was there a couple of times during that time too. So, did you get to go to any of the carnival activity while you were there in that period?
I played campus carnival. I think it might have been either 1 or 2 years. And I would say though, experiencing Trinidad carnival itself on the road is not for me. Right? No, I didn't play mass, but going as a spectator. So one of the things, so you know that for us here in Vincy, you could stand up on any point in the road, on the street, whether it's Biss Street or Back Street, and all the bands would pass you, right? At some point in time, the bands would pass you. My experience that 1 year that I did it was that I had to walk to go and meet the bands, right? To see what the bands will participate in Trinidad. I said, never me again. Because Port of Spain ain't a small place, right? So I said, never me again.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, so I only did that going and spectating 1 year because a girl ain't about to do all that walking.
Too much for you. Joel say you was there. He should take you down there with him, Joel.
Well, I could fit in a suitcase and they're real small. I could fit in anybody's suitcase.
Yeah, but last week I hear you was pulling up Dave for using the N word, and I agree with you 100%, 50%. And the lady from Antigua, Antoinette, she's saying they should apologize. Yes, she should apologize. But you see, she's hypocritical too, because a friend of ours from the same community in Central Kingston called Kingsley program and abuse them every Tuesday. And she don't come and say she should apologize to
And abuse who though? Abuse who?
Kingsley the Freitas.
Oh,
She
okay.
call him and verbally abuse him every Tuesday on his program. And she called his program every Tuesday and she ain't got nothing to say about that because both of them are Labour Party supporters.
All right. Well, you know
Yeah,
what? These are problems for other people programs. You hear? Our program, our program, we've already laid down the rule of the law as it relates to the program here. So yeah, other people could deal with, other moderators could deal with that, right? Yeah, we could deal with ours. All right. What else?
You missed me. I heard you. You missed me because I heard you say, no, please, you're missing.
Yes, we did. Queens, we know, we the thing of it is that we know the persons who we tend to interact with very often, whether it's through the WhatsApp or those who actually call. So if you go a couple of days, we would notice it. So we would either send you a message, and persons on the WhatsApp have noticed that we've sent them messages inquiring if they're okay, etc. So yes, once we don't hear, we would inquire because, life kind of funny to us. So, so we still had a checkup. We still had to do the checkup on persons.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you know that song by Boy George and the Culture Club. Came out in 1980.
Come on, Camellia.
I know
You
you
come
miss
and
me.
go.
I know you miss me blind. You don't know that one.
That's a different song.
I know you miss me blind. Yeah, it's a different one.
Oh, no, I ain't sure if I know.
Yeah,
I have to look for it up. Look it up.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
on the same album.
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
All right,
Bye-bye.
you too, Queens. All righty. So yes, we are in our Talk to Us, and we've heard there from Queens. Queens is still with us. He went frolicking and gallivanting, and he is back to the real world. All right, because Trinidad was his escape. All right.
Should have asked him if he's a musician, because he's always talking about music and remembering dates and all that. Next time.
Queens just knows a lot, and I mean, it seems like a walking encyclopedia, which is a good thing. Which is why, for me, he should have had top marks in school because. But you know what is so funny though? Your parents would always be like, well, I know for me it used to happen. When mommy would be like, all the words in those songs. I hope you know your school, but the same way. And
music is different.
It's so different.
Okay? It's easier to learn music.
And
right?
then, mommy, look at how handy knowing music has come in. Okay, good morning to you. Straight on the life. Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning, angels. Good morning.
Morning.
Well, I think I hit the nail right on its head with Queens. You remember what he asked where Queens was, and I wrote and told you he might be in Trinidad.
Oh yeah. I suspected, man. You hear me ask me if it's Brazil or Dominica, Trinidad.
Anyway,
it's one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, Queen just opened up a can of worms. He called Mr. Granville Williams, and he asked about, I think it's 5 things he will do if he get elected. Going back to 2015, when Mr. Eustace was in New York, he was asked almost a similar question. In his first 5 to 10 years, what would he do? What did Mr. Eustace reply? Ask Ralph. That was his reply. And now Queens has put the same question to Mr. Granville Williams, but you heard how he answered it eloquently.
Well,
And going back to my question now, I'm going to put it right now to later today with my question to Mr. Eustace. And I want you guys you have all week to ponder. My question to Mr. Eustace 2015. I wish his party well with the new election coming up. And I said to him, I understand that you have an economic degree. And is it possible you could tell us what year did you get your economic degree? And did you do, I think, retake a course in economic degree? However, I was kind of, shy kind of thing. I instead of say, do a refresher course, I said, renew, if you ever renew your degree. And everybody started booing me. Mr. Yusuf himself answered, well, he said, that's a very good question. That's a very good question about my economic degree. But my answer to you is you're out of your place. That is what his answer to me. And no question on that trip he answered in New York City. None whatsoever. When he came back to St. Vincent, I heard he said, he kind of sorry didn't answer the question, but he was told by a couple of his people in New York, you should have answered those questions. So my question to you, was I wrong to ask Mr. Eustace, who was aspiring to be the leader of the country, about his economic degree? Even though did not put it in the right context, but he knew exactly what I was talking about. Because I heard the PM asking in Parliament, they was going to debate the bill. And he said, you went to New York and a gentleman asked you about the economic degree. But he tried to embarrass the guy by not answering the question and, said, I know, Mr. Yusuf, immediately, I am not voting for that bill. That was his answer.
All right. Well, okay. So I personally would not say that you were wrong for asking the question, right? I do think that all politicians, once you put yourself up for a particular position, that questions have to be asked to them, right? Of course, you're not going to make it personal. You're not going to make it derogatory, but you should pose questions to them and they should know how to answer. If it's something, let's say, of national security that they just definitely cannot answer, then there are ways that you can avoid answering questions. But on the face of it, now, please note that my response is just it's just based on what you are saying, but I was not there. So I don't know, maybe if the intonation in your voice was could have come across as offensive or whatever. I don't know, right? But just based on what you're saying here, it does not seem as though that it may have been an offensive question.
Roleza, yes, that question was recorded, and I wish, I know the individual who's asking this particular question, and it's played many times over. I think it was because in the crowd there were a number of persons who themselves objected to the question, but I think that Arnim Yusuf should have hit that question for 6. He had an ability to do so, but he rode on what the crowd was expressing and took a negative view that I think turned out to be the wrong way of approaching the question. But these things are hardcore personal questions when people start asking questions about your family and your father and your this, that. And sadly, these are some of the things that come out on the ground. And they may not come out in media, but they're on the ground. And all politicians are assessed in that particular way. I went through that. But so you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to answer these questions in a broader sense without stepping on your own toes. And sadly, I think on that occasion, he did.
Okay.
And if I might interject, I think on that election, when he lost a lot of votes in East Kingston. A lot of votes based on the way he answered the question in New York. But he bounced back the following election. But that was a question, like Dr. Sampson said, it was made public. It was there. A city was made out of that question in New York. And that question was number 1 on the CD. I have a copy of it. I have a copy of the questions. So, and when I was rude to ask that question, you're never rude to ask the question.
So Jeff, indirectly, we have you to quote unquote thank for the slogan. That slang, ask Ralph. Indirectly, we have you.
No.
No?
I wasn't asked Ralph. I was out of the place. Out of the place. Yep, that's what he called me. They called me out of the place, man.
Well, had it not been for that interaction, we would have never gotten that slang. So maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The other guy got asked Ralph for his I think it was 5 to 10 his first 5 to 10 years in office, what would he do for the country? And he said, ask Ralph. But that's my take. If Queens want to call back and say I didn't ask that question, then
all right, right? I've heard Queens bring it up. I've heard you bring it up. We're leaving it to rest, right? Because this was donkey years ago as well, too, right? And I'm not expecting anybody on the opposition side to turn around and say in this current stage to say ask Ralph, right? That would make absolutely no sense.
But I applaud Mr. Williams this morning. Great answers. And I hope that Mr. Stevens will afforded the opportunity to come in and do the same thing.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Angels.
we have. All right.
Yes. All right, Doc and your Angels, have a brilliant day.
You as well.
You're on that, enjoy and safe journey back.
All right, thanks. All righty. So we are in. All right, so let's take a quick 1 minute for this call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll make it quick. Good morning.
Morning.
Last week I discussed the friendship between Oti and myself.
Uh-huh.
And one of the most important things he said to me was love and fortune. Then one of the happiest times of his life is being able, at the end of every month, to pay his staff their wages.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was in that position to say the same. So I just want to say, if any of his staff is listening this morning, let them know. But he had really appreciated their story. Okay?
All right. Thank you. And I think, that's interesting because I think sometimes when an employer finds themselves in a position where they're not able to figure out how they're going to pay their workers, that is one of the heaviest burdens that they carry on their head, because they recognize that, for many persons, they are living paycheck to paycheck, month end to month end. And I find for some employers, that is the heaviest burden that they tend to carry on their head. And it's understandably so. All right. So we are going to have to head on out at this time as it is 9:48, and we're going to bring to you today's community date line.